Everybody, welcome to USA Hockey Arena in Plymouth, Michigan, the home of the National Team Development Program. We're speaking with U17 assistant coach Chad Kolarik. And Chad, first of all, thanks for your time. I know you're busy. I hate the term typical U17 year because I believe all teams have their own path. I mean, the Detroit Red Wings right now having their own path. How do you like your team right now coming out of a Five Nations victory?
Yeah, I think to feel the success for the guys. In November, we lost in the finals to Canada in the World Challenge against our own age group. December event got moved to a different date, so we couldn't make it. And now, here in February, we had success. We won the tournament. The kids played awesome, scored a lot of goals. I think that's been one issue for us is scoring in the USHL, and we're hoping that the success here in February and the goal scoring in February kind of brings that confidence and into the USHL season, and the last 15 games can be exciting.
And it's a perfect segue because you're playing all USHL the rest of the way, and there have been bumps along the way. We all know that, but how do you see the rest of the USHL schedule? Because a lot of these USHL teams right now are playing for playoffs, and so is your team.
Yeah, we're 11 points out. I think we have 4 games in hand. It's not something we strive for in terms of a goal during the year to make playoffs, but if we do, I think it's a big deal for the kids. And I know the last year U17 team did make the playoffs. It's a great accomplishment. So I think it is in the sights of the kids. 11 points, 4 games in hand. It is possible with playoffs. And I think the last 15 games are just important to build for now and build for next year and build that confidence going into next year EPO, what we're really playing for.
Do you think some of the bumps early in the season open these kids' eyes up, and now you get late in the year, they have a lot more confidence against the USHL teams?
Yeah, I think coming from U15 or U16, it's hard to come to the USHL and the bus rides, the day of the game travel, the hostile environments. You go into certain areas and certain teams, and it's hard. They're getting beat up pretty good night in, night out, and we've won 2 USHL games so far. So I know that the confidence, of course, is an issue with them. But again, like I said earlier, we won in February, giving them that February event here, and gives them that confidence. They can win. So when you believe in yourself and believe in the abilities, anything can happen. And then 2 games so far for the wins in the USHL, it could turn into 6 or 7 or 8, and that would be a very big accomplishment.
I want to look at a couple of your players. We were talking before we went on air. Donnie Brocco seems to play with a lot of intelligence. He's racked up 24 assists. No goals yet, but that's not a concern for you or the rest of the coaching staff, right?
No, not at all. I think Donnie is an intelligent player, an intelligent person. He uses the hockey smarts on the ice and uses his skating ability on the ice to get around. Very good on his edges, very light on his edges. He's maybe not the fastest skater, but in terms of agility and quickness, he's right there with the top. And he's had a great year. For me, he's one of the most improved players on our team in terms of day 1 till day 150 right now. And he's done a great job of just listening, taking it all in, and using the extra ice and skills and everything like that. And he's become an effective player, even without the goals. Doesn't matter for us. And a defenseman scoring goals isn't the end-all be-all. He runs the power play, and he does a great job with it. So.
That's a great point. Also, +8 or +9, one of the leaders in that regard. An exciting player for everybody to watch, LJ Mooney, who had a very good Five Nations tournament. What do you like about LJ?
Yeah, LJ, he's a water bug. He just flies around the ice. He's got the agility, the quickness, the skills. Everyone's seen his Instagram page where he goes between the legs, throws pucks in. He's an unbelievable player, very dynamic player offensively, and he's just going to keep getting better. I think at the start it was a little much with the contact, the physicality, but now again, game 40, game 41, he's really coming to his own, and he's one of the best offensive players that we have.
So a little guy like LJ Mooney, we go to some of the bigger guys, and I'm thinking maybe a Jack Murtagh, obviously Will Horkoff, or a Will Moore. What do you like about those guys?
Yeah, I think Will Moore, as he keeps putting on muscle mass, I think he's a skinny kid right now, but he's got an infectious personality, a great kid, wants to be a hockey player, loves hockey, will do anything to be a hockey player. and he's very talented around the net. He's got 20 goals already on the season, and that speaks volumes to a 16-year-old kid scoring 20 goals, and a lot of them in the USHL. So he's done a great job. Will Horkoff's coming into his own. I think he's scored recently in the USHL before we left, and I think his game is moving in the right direction. Obviously, a 6'5" kid, grew a bunch of inches early in his U15 year, and kind of hasn't caught up to it himself in the body wise, but as he continues to put on the muscle mass with GVN downstairs, he could be a potential superstar. Murtag, I think he's the best goal scorer we have, pure goal scorer. I think the knack for the net for him is awesome. His shooting is obviously a big time asset for him. His competitiveness. I like our team. I like where we're headed. I know the wins haven't been there all year, but I think the guys are really heading in the right direction.
So to end this, you're excited for your team, no matter what happens at the end of this year, going into spring training, working at GVN, and then in the next year as the U18s. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think when we picked the 07 group, this group, I think we were really excited how deep they were, how talented they were, how fast they were, how big they were. We have some really big guys, Amico, Phillips, Beller, Horks. We have some big time, big players. We're the 05s, the last group we had. We were tiny. We were a little small. So we're excited about that. I think with the spring training coming up, we could see huge improvements from everybody, and I know that next year we'll be on a mission.
Chad, thanks for your time. We'll talk again.
Thank you.